Today we're all about sales, crushing it in sales.
A topic that pretty much applies to everyone.
No matter what you're doing, right? We're drawing insights from a real estate expert and TV personality. This guy built a whole empire on closing deals.
But like you said, it's really about the principles behind it all.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're selling houses or software or even just an idea.
At its core, it's all about persuasion. Influence, building relationships, it's a skill set.
So let's just get right to it. Let's talk about fear.
Fear.
I think a lot of people, especially when they're starting out in sales, they get paralyzed by this fear of rejection, fear of failure. I know when I first moved to New York City, man, I was so broke, I couldn't even buy yogurt.
Oof, that's rough.
But you know, that fear, that desperation, it really fueled me. It pushed me to knock on doors, make those cold calls, do whatever it took to survive.
I can definitely see that. Fear can be a motivator.
Totally.
It's a natural human response, right? We feel uncertain, there's risk, but the thing is you can't let fear paralyze you.
Exactly. You have to understand it.
Yeah, acknowledge it, understand where it's coming from, and then use it as fuel to push you forward.
This reminds me of something my dad used to do when we were kids. We'd move to a new neighborhood, and he'd make us knock on every single door on the street, introduce ourselves to everyone.
Yeah.
And I was terrified at first.
Oh, I bet.
But you know what? It taught me to put myself out there. You got to build connections and not be afraid of a little rejection.
And there's that tie into sales again. Because in sales, you also want to diversify your efforts.
Right.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Like a juggler, keeping multiple balls in the air at the same time. That's how I think about it. You can't just rely on one client, one deal, one opportunity.
Right. You've got to be prospecting constantly, building those relationships, building that pipeline of potential customers.
Oh, yeah. The balls in the air analogy. I love that. If one deal falls through, you got others to keep the momentum going.
You're spreading the risk. You're maximizing your chances of success. It's like planting seeds in a garden, right? Not every seed is going to sprout, but the more you plant, the higher your chances of a bountiful harvest.
Okay, I'm with you. So how do we manage all these balls without dropping them all?
Systems and frameworks, that's how.
Give me an example. Give me a framework.
All right. How about the finder, keeper, doer method? Simple but effective.
Finder, keeper, doer. Okay, I like it. Break it down.
So three-pronged approach. You got your finder. They're all about identifying those opportunities, generating leads, expanding the network. It's the proactive, outward-facing part of sales.
So that's like, for me, going to industry events, connecting with people on LinkedIn, maybe striking up a conversation at a coffee shop, always on the lookout.
That's it. Always looking for those potential clients, partnerships. Yeah.
Gotcha. What about the keeper?
The keeper, all right, so they're the organizational guru. They're managing the details, nurturing those leads, making sure all those balls keep spinning smoothly.
Oh, so they're like the project manager?
The strategist, they're making sure the CRM is updated, follow-up emails are sent out, presentations are looking good. They're the backbone.
So nothing falls through the cracks. The keeper makes sure the leads are nurtured, I get it, and the doer.
All right, so the doer, that's the action. Closing those deals. It's the culmination of all that hard work from the finder and the keeper.
They're the ones making pitches, negotiating contracts, bringing those deals home. It's really a team effort, though, right?
Totally. And it's not always so cut and dry. A smaller business, one person might be doing all three.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I do all three in my business.
Exactly. But even then, just having this framework in mind, it helps you stay organized, prioritize your tasks.
It's a mental model. All right, so beyond the tactics, let's talk about mindset. This real estate expert, he talks about the 4 tenets of work, a framework for really transforming any field.
Yeah, a powerful framework for thinking about work.
I'm all ears. Lay it on me.
Okay, so the first tenet is the win. Defining success for you. What does it mean? Setting those ambitious goals, striving for excellence in everything you do.
I love that. Having a clear vision and just going after it relentlessly.
Yeah, but it's not just about personal gain, right? It's about creating value for your clients, helping them achieve their goals. It's got to be a win-win situation.
Win-win. I like it. What's the next tenet?
Tenet number 2, the grind. Embracing the hard work, the dedication, the perseverance it takes to achieve your goals.
Putting in the hours, making those calls, those networking events. You got to never give up.
Exactly. Even when you get rejected, when there are setbacks, sales is not for the faint of heart. It demands resilience.
Okay, the grind. I feel that. What's next?
Tenet number 3, the hustle. Being resourceful, being creative, always looking for new ways to achieve your goals.
Thinking outside the box.
That's it. Finding creative solutions to problems, staying ahead of the competition, being a go-getter, a problem solver.
Okay, so we got the win, The grind, the hustle. What's the last one?
Last but not least, the flow. Finding that state of focus, clarity, being effortlessly productive.
Getting in the zone. When you're laser focused and time just melts away, like being in the eye of the hurricane, calm amidst chaos.
You got it. Finding your rhythm, optimizing your workflow. Now, these four tenets work together. The win provides the direction, the grind fuels the effort, the hustle sparks that innovation, and the flow enables you to execute.
Man, that's a killer framework. And not just for sales, for anything you're doing, really. Okay, so I want to go back to relationships, building relationships. This real estate guy, he really emphasizes that too.
Oh, absolutely. It's crucial. People buy from people they like and trust. That's the foundation of success in
It's
sales.
about making that connection, understanding your client's needs, becoming a trusted advisor.
You're not just trying to close a deal, you're building a relationship.
And this is where I think storytelling becomes super important. It's how you connect with people on an emotional level, build that trust, make your message memorable.
Oh, yeah. Stories are powerful. They can transport us, make us feel emotions. They stick with us.
We're wired for stories, you know?
Mm.
We grow up with fairy tales, novels, movies. It's how we understand the world, how we connect with each other, how we remember things.
And in sales, they help you humanize your brand. You stand out from the competition. Your product, your service, it becomes relatable, desirable.
Think about it. What's more compelling? A list of features and benefits, or a story about how your product solved a real problem for a customer?
The story, for sure. It makes that emotional connection. It lets your listener use their imagination. The message sticks.
You're showing your personality, your values, your passion for what you do. People buy from people they connect with. Stories are how you do it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And sometimes those stories highlight the tough times too, because let's face it, in sales, you're going to face rejection, the deals fall
They're
through.
going to fail sometimes, yeah.
But that's okay. It's part of the process. I mean, I've definitely had my share of failures. Deals I thought were sure, things that totally blew up, pitches that bombed, clients who just ghosted.
It happens. It's how you learn and grow.
Exactly. Each failure is a lesson, an opportunity to get better, to refine your approach.
Makes you stronger.
That's right. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a stepping stone.
It's about getting back up, dusting yourself off, trying again. But this time, with the knowledge you gained from that setback.
You got to adopt that growth mindset. Those failures, they're just feedback.
Feeling smarter. Okay, so we've talked about putting yourself out there, building relationships, embracing failure. What about follow-up?
Ah, follow-up, so crucial. So many people drop the ball there. They make that initial contact, maybe even have a great conversation, but then crickets.
Ugh, I've been guilty of that myself. Life gets in the way, other things come up, and suddenly that follow-up is at the bottom of the to-do list. But you're right, it's such a key part of the sales process.
Think of it like a garden. You plant the seeds, but if you don't water them, nurture them, pull out the weeds, they're not going to flourish.
Okay, I can see that. So how do you do it right? How do you follow up effectively without being annoying, without being pushy?
You got to be strategic, personalize your approach, and always provide value. No generic mass emails, no pointless phone calls. Tailor your follow-up to each client. What are their needs? Where are they in the sales process?
So for example, if I'm talking to a client who's interested in a specific property, I might send a personalized email with a link to a virtual tour, or maybe an article about the neighborhood, something relevant.
Exactly. You're providing value, showing your expertise, keeping the conversation going without being salesy.
And you have to be persistent, but not a pest. Don't give up after one or two tries, but be mindful of their time and their preferences.
Find that balance. Stay top of mind, but respect boundaries. And this is where CRM systems can be a lifesaver. They can automate some of that follow-up, remind you when to reach out, keep track of everything.
Okay, I love a good system. Definitely need that in my life.
Mhm.
Now, what about as your business grows? When you can't do everything yourself, what about building a team?
Building a team, that's a whole other art form. Finding people who not only have the skills, but who also fit with your company culture, your values, that's crucial.
It's like assembling a dream team. And I actually have a framework for this one too. It's the 4 E's approach to assessing potential team members.
Right.
It's all about finding people who are set up for success in a sales environment. What do you think?
Lay it on me. What are these 4 E's?
Okay, so the first E is energy. You want people who are enthusiastic, passionate, people who bring a positive vibe.
Yeah, enthusiasm is contagious.
Totally. It creates a positive environment. People are motivated, they're excited, and that leads to the second E, which is engagement.
Mhm.
You want people who are genuinely excited about the work they're doing.
People who believe in the product, who want to learn and grow. Yeah.
Now, the third E is endurance.
Mm.
Sales, it can be tough. There are going to be rejections, setbacks, long hours. You need people who can handle it.
You need resilience, people who are mentally tough, who can bounce back from rejection without taking it personally.
Exactly. And the final E is education. Now, I'm not just talking about formal education here. It's more about the skills and knowledge needed for the specific role.
Yeah, education is important, but you can always teach someone the technical stuff. You can't teach them to have that energy, that engagement, that endurance.
So the 4 E's give you a framework for building a team that's not just competent, but also a good fit for your company. Now, what about those extra touches? Those things that take you from good to phenomenal, what I call the icing on the cake.
Oh, yeah, going above and beyond, exceeding expectations, making those memorable experiences for your clients.
You want them to feel valued, appreciated, like they're more than just a transaction.
It's about building a relationship that goes beyond the sale.
I'm a huge believer in the personal touch. Handwritten thank you notes, thoughtful gifts, remembering birthdays, anniversaries, those little things make a big difference.
You're showing them you care. You appreciate their business. You're invested in their success.
You're building a connection that's not just transactional, it's about loyalty and trust.
Exactly. And that's how you turn satisfied customers into raving fans who not only come back for more, but they also tell everyone they know about you.
Word of mouth marketing, the best kind. Now, I think it's time we shift gears and talk about customer service. You can be the best salesperson in the world, but if you don't provide excellent customer service, it's all for nothing.
Couldn't agree more. Customer service, it's the lifeblood of any business. It's what creates those positive experiences, builds that loyalty, and turns those customers into advocates for your brand.
It's about going above and beyond, meeting their needs, exceeding expectations, making them feel valued.
Especially in today's market where there's so much competition, exceptional customer service, that's what sets you apart.
Think about it. We've all had those experiences where a company's customer service was so amazing, you became a customer for life.
Totally. It's those moments when a company went above and beyond. It sticks with you. You build that connection.
Okay, so how do we create those experiences for our customers? What are the key principles?
Empathy. That's the starting point. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. What do they need? What are they concerned about? What's their perspective?
Empathy is the foundation of any relationship, and it's crucial for providing customer service that truly resonates.
You have to listen to your customers, not just what they're saying, but how they're saying it. Pay attention to their tone of voice, their body language. Sometimes the most important information isn't said out loud.
It's about being present in the conversation, not just waiting for your turn to talk. Active listening. What else?
So once you really understand what your customer needs, you respond in a way that shows you get it. You acknowledge their concerns, you validate their feelings, and then you offer solutions that address those specific needs.
And sometimes it's about going the extra mile, doing something unexpected, a little act of kindness.
Those are the things people remember. Offering an upgrade, sending a handwritten note, remembering a birthday, it makes them feel special.
It goes beyond just the transaction. It's about building that lasting relationship. Okay, so we've talked about empathy, active listening. What about communication in general when it comes to customer service?
Oh, that's huge. Communication has to be clear, concise, and timely. You're managing expectations, resolving issues, building trust.
You're responding quickly, keeping them informed, being upfront and honest, even when there are delays or problems.
And don't forget, communication goes both ways. You want to encourage customers to give you feedback, good or bad.
Feedback is golden, right?
Absolutely. It helps you get better. You see what needs improvement, you address concerns, you can make your product or service even better.
You got to create that culture of feedback. Make it easy for customers to share their thoughts and suggestions. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Complaints.
Ugh, complaints. They're going to happen. It's part of doing business. The key is how you handle them. That's what determines the outcome. That's what impacts your relationship with the customer.
Yeah, when a customer complains, it's actually an opportunity. You can turn a negative experience into a positive one. You can show them how much you care about their satisfaction.
It's about listening to that complaint, acknowledging their frustration, and taking ownership of the issue.
Don't get defensive. Don't dismiss them. Show them you understand. Apologize for the inconvenience. and offer a real solution.
And follow through. Make sure that issue is resolved and resolved quickly and effectively.
You know what they say? A customer who had a complaint resolved well, they can become even more loyal than a customer who never had a problem at all.
It's about turning those tough situations into chances to strengthen the relationship. And to do that, you need to empower your employees.
Empowering employees, that's a good one.
Think about it. Your employees are the ones on the front lines. They're interacting with customers every day. They're the face of your company.
Their attitude, their knowledge, their skills, that's what makes or breaks the customer experience.
To have truly exceptional customer service, you have to empower your employees. Let them make decisions, solve problems, go that extra mile without having to jump through hoops.
Give them the authority, the resources, the training.
When your employees feel empowered, they're more engaged, they're more motivated, and they're more likely to go above and beyond.
It creates a culture where everyone is focused on the customer. And it makes for a better work environment too, right?
Oh yeah, happy employees, happy customers. When your employees feel valued, respected, supported, that positive energy, it flows outwards.
Create a workplace where people feel appreciated, where their contributions are recognized, where there are opportunities to grow and learn.
Invest in them. Training programs, development programs, that's how you build skills, knowledge, confidence.
And encourage teamwork, collaboration. You want your employees to feel supported. You want them to work together to achieve those common goals. Speaking of support, what about using technology to support customer service?
Technology can be a game changer. It can streamline things, make everything more efficient. You can create more personalized experiences for your customers, make it more convenient.
Think about chatbots, AI assistants, CRM systems, all those social media monitoring tools. There's so much out there.
Choose the right tools for your business, your customers, and your budget. But always remember, technology should enhance the human touch, not replace it.
Use technology to make it easier for customers to connect with you, to get their questions answered, to resolve those issues quickly. But always keep that personal connection in mind.
It's all about balance. So we've been talking about customer service, but let's zoom out a bit. How does all of this tie into building a strong reputation and brand loyalty?
Your reputation is everything. It's what people say about you when you're not around. It's that perception people have of your brand based on their experiences.
And in today's world where everyone is connected, your reputation, it can spread like wildfire, good or bad.
You got to be proactive. Monitor that customer feedback, address any issues, and do it quickly and effectively.
Respond to those online reviews. Engage with people on social media. Build that positive online presence that reflects your brand, your values, your commitment to customer satisfaction.
And remember, your employees, they're your brand ambassadors. They can be your biggest cheerleaders or your biggest critics.
Empower them to represent your brand well. Okay, so we've talked about reputation, brand loyalty. Now let's talk about creating a customer-centric culture.
A culture where the customer is always at the heart of everything you do.
Every decision, every action, every interaction, it's all about meeting those customer needs and going above and beyond what they expect.
It's a shift in mindset.
Mm-hmm.
It takes commitment from the leadership. You got to empower your employees, gather that feedback, and always be improving your processes.
Customer service, it can't just be one department. It has to be a core value that permeates the entire organization.
And in today's market, you have to create a memorable experience for your customers. It's not enough to just have a good product or service anymore.
Right. You're bombarded with choices. You got to stand out. You got to resonate with your target audience, leave that lasting impression.
The brand experience, it's every touch point a customer has with your brand.
Yeah.
From the very first interaction, like visiting your website, to that follow-up after a purchase.
You got to be consistent. Build a cohesive experience that aligns with your brand, that speaks to your customers' emotions, their aspirations.
Think about the brands you love,
Mm-hmm.
the ones you keep going back to. What keeps you coming back? What about their experience makes them special?
Is it the amazing customer service, the unique products they offer, their commitment to something bigger than themselves?
Figure out what those elements are, what
Okay.
creates that special experience for your customers, and then do that. Do it consistently, authentically, and don't forget about the power of storytelling.
Storytelling. It's how you connect with people on that deeper level. You build trust. You make your brand memorable.
We're hardwired for stories. We use them to share information, connect, make sense of the world. And in a world full of marketing noise, stories can cut through all that and really resonate.
Tell your brand story. Share your mission, your values. Show the impact you're making.
Share customer stories, employee stories. Give them a peek behind the curtain.
You're humanizing your brand. making it relatable, helping people connect on a different level. And speaking of moving forward, never underestimate the importance of innovation.
Innovation keeps you ahead of the game. It's about constantly improving, evolving, creating new and better solutions for your customers.
You have to challenge the status quo, think outside that box, embrace change.
It's a necessity, not a luxury. Companies that don't innovate, they become irrelevant. They lose customers. They fail.
You got to build that culture of innovation within your company, encourage people to share their ideas, experiment, take risks.
Invest in research development, explore new technologies, stay ahead of the trends in your industry.
Innovation isn't just about new products and services. It's about improving how you do things. It's about those customer experiences. It's about finding better, smarter ways to run your business. And don't forget about social responsibility.
Customers care about that more and more. They want to support businesses that are doing good, businesses that align with their values.
It's about being ethical, sustainable. It's about thinking about the impact you have on everyone. Your employees, your customers, the community, the environment.
Support those social causes.
What?
Give back to your community. Embrace those sustainable practices.
Customers are more likely to support businesses that are making a difference. And those are the businesses that build that strong company culture. You know, the kind of place people want to work.
Company culture, it sets the tone, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's the values, the beliefs, the behaviors that make up the workplace, how people work together, how they interact.
And a positive company culture, that's a powerful asset.
It attracts great people. People want to work there, so you can keep those great people.
Mm.
It fosters innovation, and it drives success.
You want to create a workplace where people feel valued, respected, supported.
Encourage open communication, teamwork, collaboration, celebrate successes, recognize those contributions, give people opportunities to learn and grow.
Because a positive company culture, it not only benefits your employees, but it also trickles down to that customer experience. It's all connected.
It really is. And to keep growing, you got to keep learning. The world is changing so fast. You got to be constantly learning, growing, adapting.
It's a lifelong journey. Embrace it. Seek out new knowledge and skills, and encourage your team to do the same.
Invest in those training programs, attend industry events, read books, stay up to date on the latest trends.
Because continuous learning and development, it's not just about staying ahead of the curve. It's about personal and professional growth.
You're expanding your knowledge, challenging your assumptions. You're becoming a more well-rounded, more effective individual.
And a more successful one, too, I'd say. Let's not forget the foundation of any successful business financial management.
You got to manage that money wisely. Make smart financial decisions. Keep your business healthy and stable.
It's understanding your cash flow, managing expenses, making those investments that are going to drive growth and profitability.
Develop a solid plan, track your income and expenses, and don't be afraid to reach out to the experts and get some advice.
A strong financial foundation is essential.
Speaking of foundations, setting clear goals, you gotta do it.
I completely agree. Goals give you direction, focus. They motivate you, and they let you measure your progress.
Make sure they're SMART goals, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Break them down into smaller steps. Track your progress. Celebrate your wins along the way and adjust as needed.
That's how you stay on track. But remember, it's not enough to just set those goals.
You got to take action.
Exactly. You got to put in the work, make things happen, break those goals down into manageable tasks. Make a plan. Set those deadlines. Hold yourself accountable.
And celebrate those milestones along the way.
Taking action, that's how you turn your dreams into reality. And sometimes those actions lead to tough conversations. Especially in sales, you got to be good at negotiation.
Oh, for sure. Negotiation can be tricky. It's like a dance, you know? Find that balance where both sides walk away feeling good about the deal.
Exactly. And it's not about winning or being aggressive. It's about collaboration, understanding the other person's needs, finding a solution that works for everyone.
I think a lot of people avoid negotiation because they think it's going to be confrontational.
Yeah, I get that.
But when it's done right, it's really just problem solving together.
It is. And one thing that can really help is focusing on the interests behind each side's position, not just the position itself.
Wait, I'm listening. What does that mean?
So like, let's say you're negotiating price. Instead of getting stuck on a specific number, try to understand why that price is so important to them. Is it budget? Perceived value? Maybe they're worried about setting a precedent for future deals.
I see. Get to the root of it.
Right. Once you understand their motivation, you can start to brainstorm creative solutions that address those underlying needs.
It's like that story about the two sisters fighting over an orange.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
They both want the whole orange, but it turns out one sister just wants the peel for baking, and the other just wants the juice.
They could have easily split it and both gotten what they wanted.
Exactly. So communication is key here.
Oh, always.
And I don't just mean being clear and concise, although that's important too. It's also about really listening, paying attention to those nonverbal cues, reading between the lines.
That's active listening for sure. And don't underestimate the power of building rapport during a negotiation.
People are more likely to be reasonable, to play fair with someone they like and trust.
100%. Take the time to connect with the person, find some common ground, make it a positive experience.
And this might sound counterintuitive, but don't be afraid to walk away from a deal.
Walk.
Sometimes the best deal is no deal. You have to know what your limits are, what you're willing to accept, and what you're not.
Having that clarity, that willingness to walk away, it gives you leverage. It keeps you from making a bad deal.
Knowing your worth. And that brings us to something I wanted to touch on, especially when we're talking about sales, building that confidence.
Confidence, oh, that's crucial in sales. It's magnetic. People are drawn to it. It makes you more persuasive, more believable.
But it's not always easy, right? I mean, it's not like you're born confident. It's something you build over time.
That's so true. It's about recognizing your strengths, celebrating your accomplishments, believing in yourself that you can achieve what you set out to do.
And, one way to boost your confidence is to look back at your past successes. Those deals you closed, those obstacles you overcame, those goals you crushed.
Use those wins as fuel. Remind yourself that you've got what it takes.
I like that. And just like anything else, practice makes perfect, right?
Absolutely. The more you put yourself out there, the more comfortable you'll become, the more confident.
And don't be afraid to get feedback. Learn from those mistakes.
Yeah.
Every setback, it's a chance to grow, to get even better.
Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We've really taken a deep dive into the world of sales. Any final thoughts?
I think the main takeaway here is that success in sales, just like success in life, it's not just about the end goal.
It's about the journey, the ups and downs, the lessons learned.
Exactly. It's about embracing the challenges, celebrating the wins, and never stopping that learning process. It's about building those relationships, providing value, making a positive impact.
And having fun along the way. That's important too.
Well, that's it for this deep dive. Huge thanks to our expert for sharing such amazing insights.
My pleasure. Always love a good deep dive.
And thanks to all of you for listening. Until next time, keep crushing it.